Hey, it's Marko here from Fair Realty. Today I'm talking about a situation I have not seen in my career. So let me know what you think. So here's the situation. There's a 9-story concrete building, residential building being built at Esquimalt right now on Esquimalt Road. And just for full disclosure, I've personally purchased a pre-sale unit into this building, a 1-bedroom on the 7th floor. This building is midway through construction. I believe concrete has been poured up to the 7th floor, somewhere around there. If you're driving by on Esquimalt Road, I mean, you can see it sticking out of the ground. And in the last few weeks, the developer has made an application to the city to add an extra 2 stories to the building. Some of the developer's arguments are originally, when the developer proposed this development, they proposed 12 stories, then it got cut back down to 9. Now it's going back up to 11. It's still below the original proposal. There is a housing crisis. These 2 extra floors would add another 16 units. Construction costs have ballooned more than 50%, which has put the developer in a difficult financial situation. This would help that as well, etc. So where the developer is asking to insert the extra 2 floors is there's 7 floors, and then there's the sub-penthouse floor on the 8th floor and the penthouses on the 9th. They're asking to insert 2 floors above the 7th floor, which means all of us that bought from the ground floor to the 7th floor, nothing would change. Our units would remain identical. Our orientation and view would remain identical. The people that bought previously into the sub-penthouses and the penthouses, they would actually benefit because the 2 floors would be inserted below them. So the view would actually improve for the sub-penthouses and the penthouses by an elevation of 2 floors. Now, as a purchaser, I've been trying to think this through. Is it a positive? Is it a negative? And I haven't reached the definitive conclusion. Some of the negatives are maybe construction's delayed by an extra couple of months. But the thing is, interest rates right now are very high. Most economists are predicting interest rates are going to drop. So if the project is delayed, you're probably getting a better interest rate on the mortgage when the project is finished. Some of the other negatives could be there isn't an extra elevator being added. So now you have 16 more units that are using elevators as well. Some of the positives are perhaps with those 16 units being added, no changes to the parkade, no changes to the elevators. You would think the strata fees would be a bit lower per unit as there's more units to spread out the strata fees along. Pros and cons, as a purchaser on the 7th floor, nothing really changes for me. So I don't really know what to make of it because I haven't seen this before in my career. And I think the developer makes some valid arguments. The counter argument to the developer's argument would be if the city approves these 2 extra floors, it sets a precedent, and are other developers going to try this strategy in the future? You get your building permit approved for a building, you start construction, then you ask for extra floors. It seems like a bit of a risky strategy to me for a developer, but nonetheless, it sets a bit of a precedent. And then the only other point is technically, it's interesting that the foundation and all the concrete and structure was already designed to support these extra 2 floors. I think I would interpret that as a lot of these buildings are way over-engineered in terms of the structure. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Marko from Victoria.